Hi.
Welcome to Deshbags podcast on the SnG comedy channel.
Episode 2.
That's right.
Hope this finds everyone in good spirits.
Hi, I'm Tom Course.
I'm Brij Bhakta,
I'm Karan Talwar.
and we've got plenty to discuss today. Plenty to discuss.
I think we should start with something that happened recently. I was talking to Brij last night, and Brij just got back from New Delhi.
So there's another comedian friend of ours, Jiveshu, who hosts an open mic, and it's like a real super duper open mic, really small room. Everyone goes specifically for the comedy, and like people were listening. It was a great room. He's hosting, and he says, how much time do you want to do? I was like, I'll do 15, because he specifically wanted me to do my mother's set. So I talk about my mother's illness, and she's doing well right now, for those concerned. And the whole thing of the point of the set is that, our culture is awesome, but we don't deal with tragedy very well. And I'm pointing it out. Now, everyone's heard these horror stories about, doing comedy in Delhi and like what the crowds are like and whatnot. And I'm already at a disadvantage because everyone's always said to me, like, dude, you only speak English, and you have an accent. They're not going to understand a word you're saying.
Yeah, you don't.
Dude, by the way, somebody right now watching this podcast has already left a comment calling you a douchebag for having that accent.
Exactly.
And, in fact,
Yeah.
you're a douchebag too for having that accent. Yeah.
So I'm doing my set, and I get about halfway through it, and there's this guy in the back who just flips out and just loses his shit. It wasn't even a heckle. It was, what the fuck are you saying? How dare you say things like that? And quote from Jiveshu as well, that this guy said this, how can you say an Indian mother could get cancer in America? There was that thing in him that he thought that by singling me out and getting behind the whole anti-Indian thing, that the crowd would also turn on me. And holy hell, it was a very surreal experience. People can badmouth Delhi all they want, but I saw something really cool that night. The crowd turned on him, and the crowd threw him out. And Jiveshu stood up on stage, said to the management of the open mic, the guy who ran the bar, saying, "I'm not going to continue the show until you get rid of this guy."
It physically took him out?
Yeah, the crowd got up and said, "Get out."
That doesn't happen often enough.
It was really kick-ass. It was really kick-ass to see something like that.
I have big thoughts on religion. I have issues.
I'm not even an atheist anymore. Now I'm an anti-theist. I think it's gone to that
Actively burning churches?
No. It's not just now. I don't just reject religion. I tell people religion is poison. It's poison.
I'm in pretty much agreement with you there.
But here's the thing,
Whatever it is.
The flip side to that is I guess I kind of dabble like back and forth between atheism and light Hinduism.
He's a Hindu light.
Yeah, Hindu light. Like my kryptonite's my mom, and if she tells me to do certain things, I can't fake it. I don't just go through the motions, so I do it.
Yeah.
Like the one thing to me is religion. If you look at it, it is a beautiful thing. It's meant to help people, but the thing is, it's been turned into a weapon. It's been turned into.
It's a business. All of them are a business.
Not even just a business. Even if you're not making money, but it's being used as a weapon. Like, how can I assert control over you?
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to use religion. And if you say even the slightest thing against it, that gives me the right to do something to you. To me, I don't see any problem in any religion until you try to shove it in someone else's face.
Okay, that's
the only thing.
I have a recent experience, right? It equates to two of the things we talked to. I'm in the process of getting married, right? Here in India to a Goan. She's Roman Catholic. I'm not. What's the face for?
Where's she going?
And so, what is like a joke?
What was she before? If she's going Catholic now,
She was Stalin.
Shut up. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of procedures that we have to go through. And 2 weekends ago, we had to go to 2 days worth of wedding preparation courses at the church, which includes things such as, are they forcing you to marry them? You have to do these pieces of paper are what I have to take, or the Roman Catholics have to take to their church in order for the archdiocese to then say basically you are allowed to get married. I think I told you about this one thing. I have to hand
the permission of the Pope of that church.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
There's one Pope. There's not a. Each church doesn't have a Pope.
They're all popes.
It's a puppet.
They're all popes for me.
Get a small head.
It's a small head. It's a mini pope.
Micropope.
We're just
Micropope.
we're just upsetting everyone.
Yeah, we're doing well here. And we went, and there were some bits which were as to be expected. There was a priest who came and said the practical stuff about getting married in the Roman Catholic Church. There are 3 different versions: a Roman Catholic marrying a Roman Catholic marrying another Christian but that's not Roman Catholic, which is our scenario, and a Roman Catholic marrying
another religion,
completely different religion. And there's other things you have to go through that. And that's the practical aspect of it, right? We're all sitting in this room. The man is there. He's talking. They have to explain to you that you can't have sex without a condom in the Roman Catholic faith because all...
with the condom.
No, without. With, sorry.
Yeah.
No sex without a condom.
Yeah.
This is how our religion is dying. Shit, we've got it wrong. It's backwards in the book.
Yeah. I know.
He turned to Count Dracula there. He's
I
backwards
know,
in the book.
He's the priest he's hanging out with
But
are really
there were-
weird.
But there were also moments where there was a lady up there who was giving us basically a biology class on the woman's vagina and how to check for sticky mucus to find out when you're ready to make a child. And so all these portions were in it. Some was very sensible, some wasn't. But anyway, the point was I was very skeptical about the whole thing. But inside that room, full of Roman Catholics who are actually used to doing a good bit of singing, getting together and eating their bread and their wine,
Talking.
all this stuff, random talking.
Yes.
Me, Mr. Skeptical, who on the first day was very skeptical, by sort of halfway through the second day, I'm sucked into the sort of almost the camaraderie of the whole thing, right? It got me, right? The religion got me, meaning that like all of this sort of camaraderie, everybody together singing, kind of, right? There was a spiritual moment, an aspect, an element to it there, which I was really enjoying. I liked being part of that thing at that moment in that time. And then it progressed into, I'm a man wearing a robe. I'm holding up a bread that I'm going to break ceremoniously. I've got a cup which is amazing because it's a cup that I have. And that's what breaks in my head, right? And that's when my brain then goes, no, fuck you.
I wonder what
I'm not going to listen to what you're telling me.
I wonder what the next big religion's going to be.
Brij and I have stayed in America, and we both stayed in conservative parts of America. Same exact story, right? I was like a sophomore, second year, and the fundamentals, they were called Campus Christian Foundation, CCF. Have you found Jesus? And I told them, I was like, you know what? It's weird because in Hinduism, there's karma and dharma, right? That's the basic foundation. And karma is doing good things, dharma is doing your duty, whatever your duty is. So, for example, a mother taking care of her children in a proper way is doing her duty. So, you as a Christian, as a duty, are preaching about your God. Technically, that makes you a Hindu. So, I basically said this to him. I was like, you're a Hindu. For preaching Christianity, for following your duty, you're a really good Hindu. And look at that guy's face.
Oh shit! Fuck!
Stop this!
Don't tell Jesus! Don't tell Jesus! Don't tell Jesus!
I still really think that most of the things that are good about religion are entirely achievable outside of that construct of there is a particular God, you must wear this robe,
charity.
You must do this thing on this day.
Charity is the biggest argument.
Those
My dad
things-
used to say this. Like, look at the amount of charitable organizations, charity, the money, whatever resources that religion creates for poor people. And I always said the same thing to him. I was like, do you really need religion? You can still do charity without saying, hey Ram, or hey Jesus, or hey
of
Allah,
course.
whatever
I
it
don't
is.
think "Hey Jesus" is a thing.
Hey Jesus! Hey Jesus!
I don't think that's what they say, but sure. You know who's in the world who's given the most money? A man that fervently believes in science.
Deepak Chopra.
Bill Gates. The amount of money that dude has given.
Hey, do you know what he's made? He's made a toilet that flushes without water.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And then the pee is recycled to drink.
It's called Windows 10. No, but in all seriousness, it's pretty good.
Because Brij and I just did a talk. We just hosted an event for a group called She Says, which is a women's rights advocacy group.
Which, by the way, if you're listening, go to She Says on Facebook and Twitter.
It's shesays.in.
Yeah.
The website, it's She Says India on Twitter, and there's She Says India on Facebook as well. It's a really cool website because this just to cover very briefly what this website does is it actually gives women the protocols on what is to be done when something has happened to them. Because that's the problem here, right? Where do I go? What laws apply? What is my recourse? What steps do I take to take action to protect myself?
So it just gives you information, right?
It just gives you information.
Not just blind information, but like he said, protocol.
Protocol.
Like if something like this happens to you, or if a situation A, situation B, situation C, this is specifically what you should do and whom you should contact, how you should go about doing it.
Because we're blind here. We don't know what the law is. Because the law is so confusing to begin with. It's not like in America, the law is pretty straightforward. This is how it is. I don't know. I'm sure it's in the UK too. This is the law. You know, in India, we were talking about uniform civil code. Women have their rights when it comes to marriages differ based on what law applies to them. So a Muslim woman, a different law applies to her than a Hindu woman. A Hindu woman is entitled to certain by Hindu law to certain. If a divorce happens, she's entitled to this, that, and the other, some jewelry, some this and that. But a Muslim woman can be just the word talaq can be told to a few times, and by law she is divorced from that man with no recourse and nothing and no assets to her name
And no procedure?
and no procedure. One of the things we need is uniform codes for every person getting married. Every procedure becoming one streamlined thing. This is the procedure for marriage. This is the procedure for divorce. If you divorce, these are the terms.
So when Karan and I did this talk, and it was interesting.
So, but this is the most interesting thing for me for the entire event was when we hosted a speaker named Dr. Satyapal Singh, who is a current BJP member, former commissioner of police of Mumbai. Okay, now he's won a seat in Uttar Pradesh. He's in the working committee of BJP. His point was this country, because of Western influence, the culture has changed. And this culture now has adopted, so in other words, sexual assault and assault on women, especially women, is increasing because of Western influence. That's the crux of his argument. His argument is we need to let go Western, focus on our own values, our own culture, and things will get better.
He opened with this whole idea of this website is pointless. He opened with that.
He's like it's cosmetic. It'll not help till real action is taken. And the real action for him is educating our culture. Our culture. And then he started quoting texts like Max Muller's book from 1883. All right? Where he said, I have not seen divorce in India. He said these things. In 1883, there was no such thing as divorce in India. To this man, that seems very great. In his mind, he thinks that every marriage was perfect in 1883. What he does not realize is that wasn't the case. Women did not have recourse. This is my personal belief.
No right to it, right?
Exactly. This is my personal. I think today. I think today things are the best for women that they've ever been in the history of this country. Because today we are speaking about it.
Yeah.
Did you respond to it at all after?
I did.
We both fucking
I gave him a very honest, educated, and I thought about it for a second and I said what I had to say. He had no answer to what I said, by the way. He
didn't respond to any of our
He didn't respond to
comments.
anything. He just kept on talking about what he wanted to talk about.
I think he very well understood it.
Yeah, of
but
course.
he didn't care.
See, for him,
his modus operandi is ignore the thing I don't want to know about.
Yeah.
It's
just
as
continue
simple
on
as
my
this.
path.
It's as simple as this. For the right side of this country, the people who lean towards the right, our culture is great. It was great. It always has been great. And now we're fucking it up. I kid you not, 99% of audiences in this country, what he said that day, he would have got applauses for that.
Yeah, it's a minority that even think that women
It's the
have rights.
educated English speaking, traveled, educated English speaking, which is us, the niche of this country, that will disagree because we know better. The rest of the people are like, yeah, Indian culture. See, thing is that if unless we get to a point as a society where we can openly criticize everything, we aren't going to improve.
And that's the inherent problem because just because I criticize, this was another one of my comments to that guy. I said, I was taught that if you love something, you don't praise the good things, you cherish them, but you try to fix the bad things.
Yeah.
To suggest that anything is perfect is fucking stupid, and you're hurting the thing that you love.
That's this episode. Thanks for
This was
tuning in.
a much meatier episode than the first one. Our goal, and I hope that we achieve it, our goal is to get people to start discussing issues, which is happening, but without getting fucking upset at differing opinions and hearing the opposite side and having a dialogue between the two.
And that goes for us as well. Because there are people who don't agree with us. And they have opinions, and we should listen to them as well.
Opinion is an important distinction, though, isn't it? Everyone has a different opinion. Because you have an opinion doesn't mean it's a correct opinion.
Exactly.
Right? it's inherent to you.
Closing out episode
Immediately.
2. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, as I hope you did listening. For Deshbags, I'm Brij Bhakta.
I'm Tom Course.
And I'm Karan Talwar.
See you guys again soon.
Yes.